Hi there, it's Danielle. I wanted to come to you guys today and tell you a little bit about this awesome product I've been using. A lot of you know I have been obsessed with makeup my whole life. And I gotta be honest with you, getting older, transitioning into my 40s has not been easy. Once I started getting older, I found that makeup just kind of stopped being fun for me. I stopped focusing on the fun of the makeup and started focusing on things that I didn't like about myself, that I didn't like about my face and my skin, and it just got hard. Then this year, obviously, with COVID, we're all at home, so I found myself, excuse me, I'm going to fix my brows while I'm talking to you. I found myself not putting on makeup at all, not getting dressed most days, wearing pajamas, and that was just kind of depressing. So I talked to my husband about it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start putting makeup on every day, even if I do stay in my pajamas. I'm going to start working on makeup. I'll tell you what I'm doing as I'm going along. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my highlight, which is actually my foundation color. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my eyelid, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. But back to that, I talked to my husband, told him, I'm going to start putting makeup on every day, see if it makes me feel any better about myself. And the first couple days it did. And then I started again paying more attention to my skin. And then it stopped being as fun. I realized I'm not 20-something or 30-something anymore. Not that being in your 40s is by any means old. But what was happening is my skin wasn't the same as it used to be. I had more issues, like my eyelids would move a little bit more, the skin on my lids. I had more fine lines and wrinkles. My pores are a little bit larger. And then the thing that bothers me the most personally is sun damage and melasma spots. So those are all things, they just kind of suck the fun out of it for me. Sometimes I felt like when I put on makeup, I actually looked older than I am. So I was just like, okay, I'm not going to wear makeup. I am taking just a translucent powder and just setting that base that I just put on my eye. So I had been watching a couple of different girls who use this product called Mascara. Probably, I don't know, for like a year. And they had like perfect, beautiful Instagram features. Like, they just look like a filter walking around. And I was like, oh man, what are they using? And I didn't get it. I'm like, it's like an Instagram thing. I'm not gonna get it. It probably doesn't work that well. They're probably just like naturally beautiful. And they are. Okay, so this is no light. I think I need a little light. Okay. And they are. And their skin it does look flawless, but with a little bit of help. And I'm going to talk to you about that now. So, originally the company was called Seint. Mascara, they recently changed their name to Seint. And they focus on 3D foundation. And what 3D foundation is, our faces are not one-dimensional, they're three-dimensional. So the way these foundations work is you are going to have your contour, which is a darker, ashier color that it replicates like the natural shadows of our face, right? But it has coverage. And then you're going to put a darker highlight, which in Seint World, highlight is foundation. You're going to put that over the main areas of your skin, or where you want to camouflage anything. Like for me, I have some melasma and sunspots. If you have a blemish, that's where you're going to put it. And then you're going to take your brightening highlight, which is just a little bit lighter, and you're going to use that to pop features on your face that you feel are a little bit too dark, a little bit sunken in. So like once I cover my dark circles, I'm going to want to like pop it a little bit. Or I'm going to use that light, bright shade and I'll show you how to do this, to contour my nose and make it look a little bit smaller. So those are the kinds of things you can do with this 3D foundation, and it's so cool. So I'm going to get into it. I'm just going to I was going to do like a fancy eyeshadow look and everything, but you know what? I'm going to do my simple, like basic, what I do every single day. And this is my favorite brush. This is the Detail Hack brush, or the Detail brush. The smaller side is amazing for doing things like nose contour, lip contours, even eyeshadow. And then I really, really love this unique shape right here. And this gets right here into my cheekbones. It's perfect for going around my forehead and under here. So let me get into that. I am going to show you my contour color, and I can match you to your perfect colors. You don't want to go off of what you think they look like in pictures or in the pan, because we all have different tones in our skin and different undertones, and getting the perfect color match is what's going to make this makeup magic. So if you're interested, send me a selfie. Stand 3 feet from a window in natural light. Wear a neutral shirt if possible, black, white, gray, so that no colors are bouncing up off of your face. And I will get you color matched. But my contour color is Astoria. I'm a little bit, I look pretty fair in this light, but my skin's definitely like a medium. I have hazel eyes, and my hair is very, very dark brown. Okay, so I am just chiseling out my cheekbones. So I have a fuller face, so I'm just going to go straight down. If you have a thinner face, you're going to kind of make a little bit of a curve, like a swoop. But if you have a fuller face or you're wanting to slim your face, you're just going to come kind of down at an angle. You're going to want to stop probably around this point. Some people can come into their iris, but if I do that, I'm going to end up going into this fold right here, and I want to stay out of that fold. Okay, so I am going, let me show you, my most prominent part of my cheekbone is right here. So I am going right below that, right here. And I'm pulling in, again, only going to about here. The lighting is definitely a little brighter there. That's okay. The other thing I want to tell you guys, with creams, they are so forgiving. So if you make a mistake, it's very easy to clean up. There really are no mistakes with this makeup. I mean, it's goof-proof stuff. You end up looking like a professional makeup artist has come to your house and done you up, but it's so easy. Okay, I want to bring all light, like down towards my eyes. My best feature, I feel like, is my eyes. It's the part I'm most comfortable showing off. So that is where I am taking this now. So I am going to go, I'm going to stipple on what I have on my brush. And I'm going to stipple it around my forehead. Now you can blend as you go. I like to let it all warm up on my face just a little bit. It's always pretty easy to blend, but I just seem to like the way it blends even better when I let it all warm up on my skin. Okay, I'm going to come under the jaw. Okay. And if you're getting like jowls, or you have things down here around the jawline that you want to hide a little bit, just come up a little bit higher than you would, so you're not necessarily just under the jaw. So I was telling you, makeup was not fun for me. I didn't like looking at myself that long. I didn't like the results I was getting after. When I was using my liquid foundations, I noticed that when they dried down, they were drying into my lines and into my pores, and it just felt like they were making me look older, and I hated that. I'm going to take my contour too. Let's see. I'm going to do my nose last, but I'm just going to add a little bit right here. And now I'm going to take, this is our Buff brush. I love this brush. It's full coverage foundation. I usually go for more of like a light to medium, but it's New Year's Eve, so I'm going to do this. Okay, back to my story. So I was telling you, again, for the third time, that I didn't like the way my liquid foundations were drying down. It was making me feel older. I tried powder foundations. I tried baked creams that look like a powder, but then they're supposed to turn into a cream. All of it was just too drying, and I would do primers and then foundation and then setting sprays. I just had layers and layers on my face, and I didn't like that. So what appealed to me when I saw these girls talking about mascara, I'm going into my main highlight color right here, which is Sandy, as I'm talking to you. And I'm going to use that to cover more of my melasma, some discoloration here, and you'll see how super easy. So I just took a little bit on the brush. I'm not digging in, I'm just tapping. And then I'm just going to tap it around my face so that I don't get too much. So the thing I liked when I saw these girls doing their makeup from what was Mascara and is now Seint is they did not have layers and layers of makeup. Their skin looked like skin. It just looked like it had been run through some kind of filtering program. And I thought it was beautiful. And it was affordable. I mean, these highlights, the tins are $14. I had spent way more than that on the last bottle of foundation I bought from Sephora. And then I still needed to get primers and powders and contours. So it just seemed like a no-brainer. I had to try it. The first time I tried it, I was just like obsessed. I had to have it. I never wanted to use anything else, and I'm still feeling that way a few months later. My skin is better than it has been in years. It's not breaking out as much. I literally feel younger. You'll see, remember I told you it's super easy to like clean up if you make a mistake? So I just came down a little bit low here. Boom. Cleaning it up. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to take the smaller side of my Buffy brush. They're both the same shape and they're just really dense. And I'm going to go into my brightening color, which is June. And I am just going to go down. The other thing I love about this makeup is it is pretty clean. There's only 11 ingredients. I can pronounce them. I don't get overwhelmed when I'm looking at them. Do you guys ever just like start looking at ingredients and by the time you get to the fifth one you just get overwhelmed? This is our blush and bronzer brush, and I just like to take this side just to kind of blend up a little. Just to blend out my contour. I never blend my contour out too much on my cheeks until I go ahead and put some blush on, because you don't want to over blend it and have it just kind of disappear. And so I am kind of focusing on this triangle of light right here, keeping everything really bright in the center of my face, contouring to slim my face, and then you bring that contour down. We're not trying to create foundation lines of the 80s. Okay, and then I'll just wipe off my brush a little and go into my lighter colors. I should have done my lighter colors first, but I was busy talking to you guys. But you can really, again, you can do either one. The brushes will wipe off really easily. Speaking of, oh my gosh. Okay, so right before I started doing this makeup, using this Seint makeup, I was just using my regular old makeup. And I used mostly high-end. I had a few drugstore things. But I have super, super sensitive skin, so most of the time I did just go high-end. I spent over an hour washing my brushes I don't know, a couple weeks before I jumped onto the Seint train, do this brush cleaner. Let's see. It's called Houdini. It's on my website. It is freaking fabulous. Like, you guys, I can wash my brush in like a second, and it's amazing because it's dried. Like, I don't have to wait overnight for it to dry. I'm gonna go in with bronzer, and I mix my bronzer with this dark highlight called Glow. So I use the cream bronzer Bella and the Glow highlight. And again, I just tapped. I did not smush. I know it's gonna look crazy and dark, but wait till we blend it. And I definitely have a lot of sun damage here and then a very white neck. So I bring my bronzer down to just kind of blend it, make it less noticeable. That's the other thing I've been learning this year, and just like on this journey of COVID and being in my 40s and being a mom. Being a mom to a 3-year-old, which is such a blessing. But being a mom in your 40s and being around a bunch of girls who are in their 20s and 30s, it can play with your self-esteem a little bit. So this is just my foundation. You saw how quick that was, and I was talking. I'm going to jump into blush, and I love the color of my shirt. And this black cherry is just so gorgeous. It reminds me of that. It looks black in the pan, right? Wait. I'm going to take this brush again. I love using this for blush. Do you guys ever notice that if you ever, I mean, it happens in the sunlight too, but whenever if you're doing Zoom calls and you've got like a little ring light on, or if you're doing a live video, or like I said, if you're in the sun, your nose starts running. Don't you hate that? I hate that. Hold on. Let me go off camera here. Okay. I'm back. Okay. I am going to use this. I'm going to use contour, a little bit darker contour, and line my lips. You definitely don't have to go this dark. I do recommend lining because it definitely adds definition. And you can see right here, my upper lip on this side, like as we get older, we lose a lot of definition in a lot of features of our face, but especially women lose it in their lips. Okay, so I told you I took that just slightly outside of my vermilion border. So it's not like a major overline, but I did do it darker. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend. I'm using a darker contour than I used on the rest of my face, just because I'm using a slightly darker lip and cheek. Oh, let me tell you, so the blush I just used, that is going to be my lipstick too. So these are blushes and lipsticks, and I love them. I'm just going to try this with my finger and see how dark it is. So for your finger, if you're going to use your finger, you're going to get more of a sheer wash. If you use like a brush, like our multitasker, let me show you the difference. It's going to be a little bit more of an opaque. This color is more of a gloss, so it doesn't get too dark. But it just applies the product a little more densely. So usually at this point, I just take my detail hack brush and go in. This is like the easiest look ever. I'm telling you, if I wasn't done talking, I would have been done like forever ago. I go back into my normal contour. And this is my eyeshadow. Boom. See how this just looks more pulled together? And it's just mimicking natural shadows that we all have. And we want to bring that under. We don't want to go all the way up under our eyes for like a stark white concealered out look, because that just makes us look strange, right? If we look at little kids, and I look at my 3-year-old all the time, he has shadows under his eyes, and he's 3. And it's just youthful and pretty. Okay. Then I do not have the longest lashes, something I am always struggling with. So what I do is I just deepen my lash line just a little bit. I usually take one of these two. So this is Trust. It's what I use in my eyebrows. But I really love the way this color Cocoa, which is just a brown with the slightest hint of plum. I love the way it brings out like the green and gold in my hazel eyes. So I just run it along the top lash line. Nothing too precise, but I can't see that far. Just kind of, you can see it just adds like a little oomph versus this eye. I love this color, Cocoa. Okay. That's a pretty nice thing. One other thing I will do sometimes is, like, say I'm gonna be hanging out with my son in the backyard all day, or just, you know, have my makeup on all day, and I want to keep my eyeshadows pretty vibrant. I just take, again, one more shadow, just one more. This one's called Bird, right here. It's kind of like, it's a warm brown with some olive undertones in it. And I just take it right on top of that contour color that I laid down. And it just acts like to set it. And deepens up the color just a little. This is such an easy look. Oops. I'm telling you, doing this like in the camera and being backwards has been something to get used to. Sometimes I make boo-boos like that. Okay. So I could be done right here. I want to show you guys just a couple more tricks. I'm going to take the opposite side of my my eyeshadow brush and just pop it into this kind of yellowy champagne color called Sabrina. Pop it in my inner corners. Just under my brow bone. I don't like too much shimmer there, but just under the arch works pretty well for me. Okay. I told you guys I was going to show you my nose hack. So I am not an expert quite yet, but I do think it's pretty easy. And like I said, with this makeup, if you mess up, you can fix it. So again, my detail hack, I use this side, just tapping in lightly. Let me get close up here. I'm also steadying my arm on the desk. And I'm not going, so this is something I learned through my upline, Rachel. I used to contour with bronzer on the side of my nose, and it was making my nose look bigger. So now we go on the top. Just lightly. You can always deepen it up. You can see I got a little too much up here. Well, but we do want some up there because we want to connect it. And then just kind of come under here. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off that same brush and go into, I'm going to go into something called my Pop Highlight, which is right here for me. I'm going to add it to 3 places on my face. Mine is called Linen. So the first place I'm adding it is right here. As I've gotten older, my eyes are a little more hooded, and I'm losing a little bit of the almond shape I had. So you can see I just dabbed a little tiny bit in the corner right there. Instant eye lift, right? Gonna do a little bit more here. Got it. And down the bridge of my nose. And that is going to make that contour pop. I think I need to darken just the edge of that one more time. This stuff blends out so easily that things I would have been scared to do with a powder or a liquid, they're just not scary. So this is my Perfector. This one is from Seint. You can get similar ones. I really like this one. I don't know what they did different between, you know, like some of the other sponges on the market, but this one I'm able to wash every day, and I don't have any tears in it yet. I know a lot of the ones I would get like at Target and whatnot, I would get at least 1 tear every time I wash. So I have it wet, or I wet it, I washed it, wrung it out really well, so it doesn't feel wet at all, it just feels a little bit cold. And you just want to go over your face, especially if you have the fine lines, wrinkles, any big pores like I do, and just kind of push it into your face. This is going to help push the makeup in a little bit more, and it's going to help it look even more like skin, and it's going to remove any excess product that could sit in fine lines and wrinkles and kind of cake up. Okay, so that's how I do it. I do the Perfector first, and then I take our Stay Spray, which this is just a makeup setting spray. It smells like heaven, and I like it because it still gives me a dewy look. I know I make the funniest faces when I put that stuff on, but I let it dry. I like it because it doesn't leave me feeling tight and dry after application, but it does still give me like a dewy look, and it keeps my makeup on all day. without having to use a powder. Now, I will tell you, one place I do put a little bit of powder is under my eyes, and I only do it because I have not found a mascara that does not transfer on me to give me a raccoon eye. So I will just take a little tiny bit of just that translucent setting powder, but any powder you have will do. And I just take our powder brush and press. I don't swipe, I just press. And that just helps for my mascara transferring. But this is the only place that I apply powder because I have really dry skin. So I am a huge fan of not having to layer things and whatnot. Okay, so I am done. All I need left is the mascara. I think I left my mascara in the other room. Well, I have this stuff. I don't really like this though. It hurts my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go here, but I will post a selfie and show you the finished look, you know, with some mascara. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and I encourage you guys, even if you're not wanting to buy, even if you're hesitant to buy something new, I encourage you guys to just send me that photo so I can color match you. So if the day does come where you're like, okay, I'm ready, I want to try something that's going to make me feel younger and prettier, you'll have the colors that you need right there in your email. So go ahead. I want you to stand 3 feet from a window. I want you to take your picture like this. I want you to keep your phone level. I don't want it like this. I want it like this. I want you to show just like I am right now. I want to see some of your neck and some of your chest. A lighter color shirt, white, gray, black. If you don't have white or gray or beige, is fine. Try to stay away from blues, reds, anything bright that's gonna bounce off of your face. So go ahead, send me your selfie. Let me color match you. Even if you don't want to do anything right now, you will have those color matches in your inbox. Thank you so much. Happy New Year's. I hope every one of you have a terrific 2021. Bye.